Hello friends, and welcome back to the Mothership. Today we're going to be smoking up these Philly-style chicken cheesesteaks. Let's get started. Now before we get started guys, I need to thank today's sponsor, which is Inkbird. The guys at Inkbird reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in checking out their new 26S 5G thermometer setup, and as a sucker for all things gadgets, of course I said yes. Right off the bat, something I really like about it, while it only comes with 4 probes, it does have space for 6. So I think that might be the most I've actually ever seen on the market. That means you can have 1 for just your ambient temperature of your grill, and then you can have 5 more for different types of cooks. Now the big selling point for this particular model is that it runs on 5G. If you know anything about networks, 2.4 usually can go a little bit further, but they lack the amount of bandwidth that can go through them. 5G is a much stronger network. While it doesn't go as far, it will have a much stronger connection. So I shouldn't be dropping connection as often, and it should be really up to date, really quick, and really fast. I've already taken a look at the app that corresponds to this device, and one of the things that's pretty neat about it is all 6 of the probe spots have their own corresponding window. You can click on it, you can see a graph of that individual probe's cook, so you can see if you're not just doing one type of meat, you can see what your brisket's doing, you can see what your pork butts have been doing, you can see if they've stalled, all that kind of information per probe, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to use this thing for our entire cook today and see how it functions. Thank you again, Inkbird. I really appreciate it. If you guys are interested in a new thermometer, or if you really just want to check out what this product is all about, I will have a link down below that'll get you a nice discount. Thanks again, guys. Let's get forward with our cook. These are some boneless chicken thighs. I would have preferred bone-in, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. This is what my grocery store had. So I took them out. Basically, all I'm going to do is give them a light coating of olive oil. Mix it all in here. Get everything nice and olive oiled up. And we're just going to take our seasonings. Obviously, everything below, guys, as always. And just coat everything. We are going to smoke these suckers down, and then they are going to get sauteed in a skillet with our peppers and onions and a little more garlic, so there'll be more flavor added on here. This is just to get a nice base layer for our chicken before we get it all smoked up. Our smoker is on at 225 degrees. We're going to let these suckers run, like I said, till about 160. I have 2 of our Inkbird probes in, as well as the ambient sensor in the back. And as far as I can tell, versus my instant thermometer, they seem to be right on point. I did notice that in the app, there is a way to offset in case one of them is running a little bit hotter or cooler than it should be, which is a pretty neat feature. So let's leave these suckers alone and let the smoker do its magic. While we wait for our chicken to get up to temperature, I have gone ahead and chopped up my green peppers, my white onion, and my garlic, and I'm just going to set them aside. When I take the chicken off, I'm going to chop it to be roughly the same size as our green peppers and onions, and then let it cool just slightly before we get the cast iron skillet out. Now we want to melt some butter in a cast iron skillet, and then we want to put our green peppers and our onions in, and we just want to cook them down so they are tender. These vegetables are looking nice and sauteed to me. Last second, I'm going to add in our garlic just to fragrance it up a little bit. Does not need to cook too long. We just are looking for it to brown slightly and get some smell going on here. As you can tell, I did put a little bit of salt and pepper on here just to do a little bit of seasoning on the vegetables. Now, based on the size of my cast iron skillet, I'm going to take out a decent amount of these vegetables because I'm going to make 2 sandwiches at a time. This is probably enough for 2 sandwiches. Now I'm going to add in a whole bunch of chicken because, let's get real, we want more chicken than we want vegetables on our sandwich. And I'm going to add in a pretty decent amount of Worcestershire sauce. I still can't pronounce that, is what it is. And we're just going to keep sauteing this until it kind of all comes together. And then the last step is to kind of separate our meat into 2 piles. Obviously, if you are doing more than 2 because you have a larger skillet, you know what to do. And we're just going to let the cheese melt here. A trick I learned a long time ago is to actually put your buns over top of the cheese like so, and then just move it to a less hot spot of the skillet or to a colder burner in my case. These Sammies are now done, and I gotta tell you, they are looking real good. We got some great color on the chicken, cheese is nice and melted, the buns are a little soggy, maybe we should toast them in the future, but they look great to me. At this point, if you want to get crazy and put some ketchup on, you're in Philadelphia, you might throw some Cheese Whiz. I've seen that. I know some Philly people might call me crazy, but I have seen it. It's disgusting. You could also use American cheese if you didn't want to use provolone. There's a lot of many options. Some people put mushrooms on their cheesesteaks. I like peppers and onions, which is what we've done here. Plenty of options. But what's most important is how does this sucker taste? And I gotta tell you, like always, I'm starving. So let's give it the old chomp. Oh my goodness. I know I say oh my goodness to everything, but these chicken thighs are so yummy. You have such good smoke flavor on them, and it mixing in with all the seasoning we put on and the peppers and onions. Another great cook, guys. I'm really enjoying this. We're gonna have a great meal tonight. If you guys enjoyed this, if you got something out of this, if you want to see me do something specific or different, send me a comment down below, like, subscription, all that jazz. Thank you, Inkbird, for sending me that product. If you guys are interested, I checked it against my instant thermometer the entire way, and it's pretty much spot on. Seems like a great product. I'm gonna keep testing it and see what I think. But for now, I enjoyed it. Guys, cook something fantastic and have a good one.